What's up, guys? It's the Duel Factor once again with another video. This time we're going to be doing something a little different. It is going to be a card discussion video, and it's not going to be just one card, but it's going to be several cards from the new set Duelist Saga. Previously in the channel, I did try doing this a while back. However, I just kind of lost interest in it, considering there wasn't a lot of interesting cards that came out between, I can't remember when I did it, but from then until now. And then I decided that it's something that the channel kind of lacked, and I kind of wanted to try just because there are some new cards that were worth talking about from the set that I thought that we should discuss. That being said, if you guys like these types of videos, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll continue to start doing them. If not, then I'll just figure out something else to do. But we'll go ahead and start. So for the first card from Duelist Saga, we have Vision Hero Vion. So it's a hero card, so it's a hero support. And it's a really interesting hero card because of its effects. When it's normal or special summon, it can send any hero from the deck to the graveyard. Also, once per turn, it can banish any hero from the graveyard to add a polymerization to your hand. So that is its two effects. We'll talk about its first effect, its Foolish Burial effect, which is kind of unique. Because if you play it in a regular masked hero deck, you can send Shadow Mist, which inherently activates Shadow Mist effect to add Bubble Man. So in theory, this card is a 1-card rank 4. That being said, there's a lot of rank 4s you can go into that can change games, such as Emerald to put stuff back, popular ones, Utopia, to make Utopia the Lightning, to beat over cards. You can make Castells, Diamond Direwolves, Abyss Dwellers, all for 1 card in this. So it's a very, very, very powerful effect. The second effect isn't as powerful as the first one, but you can play, an interesting idea that I thought of is you can play cards like Fusion Substitute to give hero decks access to more than likely Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, which gives you access to the Acid Zero combo if you play this card. And also with Fusion Substitute's name being treated as polymerization, you can search this and you can use the Fusion Substitute to put back cards like Absolute Zero, Dark Law, and Norden. So this card has a lot of applications. Plus it's also searchable through Shadow Mist. And if you also read the card text, it can send any hero card. So it can also, it's not limited to just elemental heroes. You can also send Destiny heroes such as Malicious. So it's a very unique card. I think it's going to be a staple one of the most hero decks. And I think it's a very powerful card. It's also dark. Keep that in mind, so it can go into Dark Law. The next card I wanted to talk about was Elemental Hero Honest Neos. So a lot of you YouTubers have actually talked about this card, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I thought it was noteworthy. So basically what it does is during either player's turn, I can discard it and target any Elemental Hero monster on the field, and it gains 2,500 attack until the end of the turn. Most notable about that fact that it is during either player's turn, so keep that in mind. And its other effect is irrelevant, but you can banish a hero from the graveyard, and then it increases the attack by its attack. That effect you're probably never going to use, but it is an effect the card has. So right off the bat, applications in the deck, it can make Dark Law bigger, which one of the popular strategies to get over Dark Law is to run over it, because it's only 2,400 attack, but this guy on its own puts it at 4,900. Also, one of the neat things is it's during either player's turn. You don't have to wait till the damage step. So say if you're in a position where you have this card, but it's in your hand and clogging up a Bubble Man, you can just discard and target a hero monster and turns your Bubble Man back on so you can rank 4 and whatnot. Also, it helps facilitate OTKs because of the extra 2,500 attack boost. Also, it's a hero, so it's searchable. It's not just a hero, but it's Elemental Hero, so not only is it searchable by Shadow Mist, but it's also searchable by E-Call. So I want to keep that in mind. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's level 7, so it doesn't work well with the hero deck currently since everything's rank 4 toolbox. But it is an interesting card to play around with. And on to the next one, we have Dark Lord Ukobak, I believe it's pronounced. Dark Lord wasn't really I wouldn't say a meta deck to begin with as of late. However, with the release of this card, it does make the deck a hell of a lot more valuable. Because it is it's normal special summon. It's also the only normal summonable Dark Lord monster in the Dark Lord deck. Keep that in mind. But whenever it's normal or special summon, I believe it is. Yep, you can send any Dark Lord card from your deck to the graveyard. So it's not just monsters. It's also spells and traps. So right off the bat, you have an archetype specific Foolish Burial, which the deck desperately needed. And the reason behind that is, there's a lot of times that you would have Dark Lord plays, but you wouldn't have the necessary cards to facilitate your Dark Lords. Like, for example, you would open Eggshell Superbia, but you would have no way to get to, like, Dark Lord Contact or anything like that. Or a better example, I should say, is you would trade in for Dark Lord Superbia, and you have Contact in hand to bring back Superbia, but Superbia wouldn't have anything to bring back. Well, you can normal summon this first and send a Dark Lord to facilitate that play. Also, if you needed a way to resolve a banishment of the Dark Lords, which is their Hirota, but you didn't have one in hand, but you had this and a Dark Lord on the field, you could normal summon this and send whatever Dark Lord spell or trap you needed at the time, and then just use the effect of the Dark Lord to copy it for 1,000. So it gives the deck a lot more diversity and a lot better turn 1 opening plays. I don't think it makes it a tier 1 deck, but I do think it makes the deck a lot more playable. Another card I wanted to talk about, and a lot of people have actually been talking about this, is Gozuki. So Gozuki is a level 4 Earth Zombie just like Mizuki, but its effects are completely different. So, I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you real quick. So during your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. So right off the bat, it's a Foolish Burial for any zombie type cards, which if you've played zombies before, they greatly benefit from precision milling, such as Mathematician and whatnot. But it only sends zombies, so you're limited to cards like Mizuki or Shiranui Spirit Master and whatnot. So keep that in mind. That's a good effect to go off. Its second effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish one zombie-type monster from your graveyard except Gozuki, especially one zombie-type monster from your hand. You can only use each effect of Gozuki once per turn. With that being read, there's a lot of combos you can do with this, simply because it gives you it can unclog your hand with zombies you don't want hand, such like drawing Mizukis, or if you need a way to put Spirit Master in the graveyard, Plague Spreaders, cards like that. That being said, there has been a couple combos that have arisen, I'm sorry if I keep stuttering or whatnot. There's a couple combos that have arisen with Mizuki and Solitaire that give you 2 Omegas facilitating this card because it gives you the extra 4 that you need on the field. Also, in worst case scenarios, if you open slow, but you need card to start precision milling cards into your graveyard, this card facilitates that need. And it's a really good zombie card. I've seen a lot. I've actually, in the last week or two, I've seen a couple Shiranui zombie decks utilize this card because it gives you instant access to 2 Mizukis, whereas beforehand, when you open cards like Solitaire and Mizuki, it doesn't give you access to 2, you only have access to 1. This changes that whole entire dynamic, and I think this is a great card for zombies. And then we also have a new card, Legacy of the Duelist. This card is an interesting card. It's really good against Paleozoic right now, which I feel is like going to be the most represented deck, because it makes it to where each player can only set 1 spell or trap card per turn. Also, another neat thing is to prevent special summon monsters being able to attack the turn that they're summoned. So, that being said, you won't die. Hold on, let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, the monsters that cannot attack the turn they were special summoned from the extra deck. So they can't just like XYZ or Synchro spam you and then just kill you right off the bat. That's a neat thing. Plus, its other neat effect is during the draw phase, you can elect to skip your draw phase and you can just add cards back from your graveyard to your hand, which is a really, really powerful effect because a lot of the times you just need to top deck a specific card that you play multiples of and that's already in your graveyard, and you can just add it back. So this card has a lot of applications. That being said, the only set 1 spell or trap card effect can work against you, sort of, but I don't think it's enough to warrant not playing it. But right now, the only decks I can see this being good against is Paleozoic. But it's a really interesting card, I like it. Another one to talk about is White Veil. So, for those of you who watch GX, this was the card Alexis and Chaz both used. Its anime effect was broken. It's not nearly as powerful as its anime effect, but it has some unique applications, so I'm going to go ahead and read the card text to you. So, while the equipped monster battles, an opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step, so it makes your monster arm 80s off the bat. When an attack is declared involving the equipped monster, face-up spell and trap cards have their effects negated until the end of the damage step, so it cold waves them. Even if this card leaves the field, keep that in mind. When the equipped monster destroys the opponent monster by battle, destroy all spell or trap cards on the field. So, if you equip this to a monster and it connects with any other monster on the field, you heavy storm your opponent. So it turns your monster into an Armades, it heavy storms the field, and it cold waves any face-up spell or trap cards currently on the field. That seems like a really, really broken card. However, when it leaves the field, you take 3,000 points of damage. That's kind of like the downfall of the card, but it's a really, really powerful effect. Heavy Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster are both banned for a reason, and this card has that effect built into it. Now, that being said, it is an equipped spell, so it is susceptible to all sorts of spell and trap removal. Plus, the monster equipped with it is also susceptible to cards such as Torrential, Dark Hole, Raigeki, etc., and you take 3,000 points of damage. So, it makes it easier for your opponent to kill you if they have a way to out this card. But it is a very powerful card, and I think it's kind of cool. The deck I think it's actually going to get most use in, believe it or not, is Heroes, simply because they have a hard time dealing with back row. after they've established their board. But if you put this onto a Dark Law, it prevents the battle traps from going, and then just nukes all the cards. So it's a really cool card. Don't know exactly if it's going to see any play or not, but I think it was worth mentioning. And then another card we're going to talk about is Powerwall. This was used by Zane in the GX anime, and its anime effect is really, really, really broken, but we didn't get that effect. But whenever you would take damage from involving a battle during the damage step, you can activate this card, and you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard for every 500 points of damage you would take, and then you round up if it's over, like if it's 2,200, then it becomes 25, so then you send 5 cards on top of your deck to the graveyard. But reading that text, this card has a lot of interesting applications because it does a lot of things that a lot of decks want to do. For example, you reduce battle damage, which is always good. Also, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. So for strategies like Infernoid, Lightsworn, and we'll say like Chaos Dragons and stuff like that, like it sends extra cards from your deck to the graveyard. So already, if you're playing a deck that plays like Snow, it gives you more fuel in your graveyard for Snow. For Infernoids, it gives you more Infernoids in the graveyard. Same thing with Light and Dark monsters for Chaos Dragons. So I think this card is really, really underrated. That being said, it does have the fatal flaw of being a trap card, so it is slow. And it is considered a battle trap, which I hate battle traps. But the mill effect is a very powerful effect. And then the last card I wanted to talk about was Diamond Dust. So this has been out in the OCG since 2013, I believe. And it's a very simple effect. It is a torrential tribute for water monsters. It destroys all face-up water monsters on the field, and for everyone that's destroyed into the graveyard, you deal 500 points of damage. You just destroy as many water monsters on the opponent. Okay, so it destroys all water monsters, but your opponent takes the damage. I thought it was for the owner, but that just makes it even more broken. This is a very, very interesting card. Like I said, OCG had since 2013, and they saw a lot of play against Necroz when Murmurs became popular and whatnot. In our current format today, this is a blowout against Paleozoics who summon a bunch of their Paleozoic traps. And here's the reason why. So, yes, it's a trap card, and I understand Paleozoic monsters can chain to it. However, if this is the chain link before they are, it's going to destroy the trap monsters on the field because they're considered water monsters while on the field. And when the Paleozoic traps as monsters leave the field, they are banished instead. So it's a permanent way to deal with reoccurring Paleozoic trap cards, and the burn damage also causes cards like Dupe Frog to miss timing, so they don't get the Swap Frog. Also, it's another card that, like, if you draw into a Totally Awesome, if you have this card, you can flip it and force Totally Awesome negation on this card, freeing up your other cards to make your plays. That being said, I think this is going to be the sleeper side card for Paleozoic at YCS Denver this weekend. So if you don't have them now, because they're relatively cheap, they're like $1 a piece right now, I would definitely pick these up. Just because it's a solid card against any deck that utilizes water attributes. Also, it's going to be a card that goes in and out of formats. So, that being said, if it only has the one printing, I feel like it's going to go up and down in price depending on the format. So for 50 cents to $1 each, I would definitely pick these up. And that was my card discussion video, guys. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you like these types of videos, go ahead, let me know in the comment section below. Leave me a like, and I'll definitely start making more of them anytime a new set comes out. That being said, this was the Duel Factory. Thanks for watching.